not on the side of masculine, but I'm just talking the reality. There are many differences that we can talk about between boys and girls. For example, when you quarrel a girl, she will cry, shed tears. I don't expect the same from a boy. If you are the one, please stop it. Your sister cannot be crying, cannot be shedding tears because she made a mistake and the mom or the dad has quarreled, and you are crying with your sister. Then what's the difference? First of all, a boy should always behave like a gentleman. Whether there's a problem amidst problems or not, you should always behave a gentleman. You cannot sleep earlier than everybody. You wake up late when everybody has done, that's not a boy. A boy should wake up early. Check if your father's car is in good condition before everybody gets to it. Some of you are being woken up by your mom to come and take tea. That's not a boy child. Let's correct each other. That's not what you are supposed to be doing. You are supposed to wake up early. Even if you have nothing to do, just wake up early. Don't allow sun to get you in bed, boy child. Yeah. I grew up in a place where the economic activity was farming, keeping of livestock. So the first thing I could do in the morning is to go and count my father's cows, if all of them were still there, or somebody stole it overnight. How could my mom get to the cows boma before me? Then it was like I'm not now a gentleman. You are supposed to do some things that your sisters cannot do it. Your mom cannot do it. You are the upcoming dad in some years to come. A boy child should never be emotional, like I started saying, like your sister. You've done a mistake. When your mom, your dad, your neighbor, everybody starts telling you what you did, you start becoming emotional. No. A man, a young man, a boy should sit and listen. From there, gets correction. Now, I've done this mistake. Now, I didn't know it was a mistake. From now, what's the way forward, my dad or my uncle? What's the way forward? You listen. That's now the nature of a boy. Not the one because you are ashamed of listening to your mistake. You try to cover up by becoming rude, emotional, wanting to start a fight. That's a very weak person. In fact, somebody who starts a fight because of disagreements is one of the characteristics of a weak person. But a strong person like you, the one I want you to be, no. If you have done a mistake, listen. I'm not saying don't listen to anyone, but spend more time with your dad. Also with your mom, yes. But remember, when you grow up, you will be a dad to somebody. You will be a father, not a mother. Some of you, they spend time in the kitchen. I remember those days my dad could come and remove me from kitchen. Take me to the sitting room. We talk, man to man. I was in class 6, but my dad could make me feel like a man to man talk. Sometimes my dad could not be at home for a long time. But my uncle was there. That conversation that we can talk. That conversation between me, other boys and other men, when they were talking about something, I could take my points there. I could say something. Even if they will reject it, but I have said it. That's how men build confidence. When you see a grown-up man talking, even if you are a young man, try to go there, they will absorb you. When they are talking about politics, please speak out. Changia point. That's how confidence is built in this country, in this nation, in this world. Join other men. When you find them talking about politics, also politic. When you find them talking about football, young man, talk about football. So, it's so unfair to find boys gossiping. Oh, look and so. No. That's not us men. Because I'm talking to you as a boy, knowing that you are a man. If I find you gossiping, oh, so and so is doing this and that, oh, I'll give you skirt. Na nini, ufai. So, find something to talk about. Talk about this nation. Talk about the failures of the government. Talk about what the government has done good. Talk about how Messi has improved in his football skills. Yes. Talk about how Queen Elizabeth was not fair to Africa or to Africans. Put up your point. Even if you will give a point that you hear, you have ever heard your dad start talking about it, just give it as a point. Say, I know this. Build your confidence. Be a man. Do not be discouraged when somebody discourages you. In fact, be encouraged by discouragements. If your teacher tells you will not, be a man. Always be a gentleman. A gentleman, now a boy child, always takes instructions carefully from parents, from teachers, from grown-up people. Instructions. In fact, if you want to know a very strong person, a gentleman, in that case, our keyword here is a gentleman. Our keyword is being a gentleman. So, a gentleman is the one who takes instructions carefully. Where you have not gotten it very well, you say, pardon, then you take those instructions well. That's being a gentleman. Si kila saa unaambiwa kitu unafanya yako, no. Even the soldiers who are considered to be gentlemen in this country, it is because they take instructions. Disciplined. Ask yourself why. Police, KDF, NYS, all of them, Kenya Army, they are being categorized as a disciplined forces simply because they take instructions. Now tell me, in this country, who is beyond the military? No one. Because of a simple thing, they take instructions. Even you, young man, take instructions. The moment you have failed to take instructions is the day you stopped being a man. If you don't take instructions in military, you will not continue there. You will not continue. You either take instructions or you leave. You either take instructions as a man or you stop being a man. We shall give you what I said we will give you. Tutakupea skirt na kamba nemetsake. Because you are not a boy. You are not a man. Don't just be a boy physically. Even mentally, be a boy. Be a man, that is. A gentleman don't fight. I've seen most of you fighting with teachers, parents, their sisters. How now? Your sisters are there for you. You know, they know that you are there to protect them, but you are there to fight them. Now, how can we describe you? Don't fight. Don't argue unnecessarily. Don't engage. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy arguing. No. Those who argue a lot without facts, those are not men. Those are not our genes. We men, we don't do that. I'm not against the gender of girls and women, no, and ladies, no. but I'm just encouraging my boys. You know, we must act different. We must, you know, raise ourselves. If you want to notice, can you get the same points with your sister if you are in Form 4, Class 8? She will go to a good high school, or she will join to a university and pursue a course that maybe you will not pursue, yet you have the same points. They are considered to be weak. Now, if they are considered to be weak, which I don't actually think it is true, now why don't you just now raise your standards? Do well as a man. There are many things that we are supposed to, you are supposed to display being a man. You have gone to the shop with your sister, mkafukuzwa na umbwa. You are the first one to reach home. I'm remembering a friend of mine. They went for evangelism door to door. Then, you know, there are people who don't want to be preached to. By then, this guy was in campus. So he was with some girls. Campus, there are no girls in campus, there are ladies. Then somebody picked a punker and chased them. The girls didn't run away. The boy ran. But later on, he felt so ashamed to go back to meet those girls. Why? How can you run as a man? In fact, the other person was just trying to see whether these people have courage. But the boy is already running. You know, in any situation, whether good or bad, that comes across you, just remember one thing. You are a gentleman. Young man, you are a gentleman. Don't wait to be grown up like me so that you start practicing being a gentleman. No. Start from class 6, class 5, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. That's now being gentleman. There are many things that actually needs you to. You will always want to be the best. Mistakes will come on the way. You will make mistakes, you will fall. But my advice, rise up again and move on. Take instruction. God has given you wisdom that can lead you. Please don't act weak. Always act strong. No one would like to fight. Don't ever think you will be considered very strong to fight. To burn down schools, those things are for wicked and weak people. But I'm very sure I'm talking to a strong man. A man in which he can make a family stand in future. A man who can make this country stand in future. A man who is a man who will never let down God by being created a man. Don't make your creator regret why he made you to be a man. Please just be a man. And when you become a man, be a man enough. Men will finish whatever they start. Finish your studies. Men goes for what they want. You know what you want in life. Your career. Go for it. Don't quit on the way. Men don't quit. Men struggle until they get it. Young man, don't drop that course. You are in a university. You are a man. Please work for it. We are also men. We worked for it and we are still working for it. Anytime I wake up in the morning, I know I'm a man. And it takes the hand of God to be a man. As I'm concluding this session, Madam Neema Kasti told me and said that I should include this in what I want to tell the young men. I will read the way it is from Neema. He said, or she said that rather, as you aim to grow as a perfect, responsible gentleman, it's okay to make mistakes as you strive to do better. As you strive to do better, it only becomes an error when you dwell on the past mistake and fail to progress as you live in self-blame. So, in mistake, take correction. Where you have done well, congratulate yourself. In growth, we make mistakes and we don't apologize for our growth. We take responsibility. Young man, that message is yours. I have nothing to say, but continue. Grow as a man we want. May God bless you. Don't ever regret being a man.